Hi guys. For those of you who know me, I wanted to send you a message telling you that I am doing okay, and I also wanted to record my progress of self healing, self love, and self affirmation. Um, I've been going through a lot of changes for the last 2 weeks or so. I had a mental breakdown and had to call a mental health crisis line. Um, I couldn't sleep and I couldn't eat. I started I started having hot flashes at work. I started having like rashes right here. And it was so itchy and I didn't know what it was. And I started having trouble with eating. My reflux was really bad, so I started getting anxious about eating food. This all happened um, like couple of weeks after the holidays. Probably started in about like December, like around Christmas time. I didn't know I didn't know like why the hot flashes all of a sudden I would get hot, really hot at work, and um these were all kind of isolated symptoms that I couldn't really connect the dots. And I thought I was going through like a premenopause. I'm 38. uh but so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go to the doctor just to kind of have my hormones checked out, make sure that this is not anything medically related. So I believe I made the doctor's appointment for January or something like that. And so I was waiting for that. But then at work, I remember this. This was January 3rd, Friday. At work, I was just extremely talkative at work to the point where I know people are thinking that they're annoyed by me. And this was during like a work meeting, and I knew that there was something wrong. Like I was just very hyper. And well, for people who know me, like I'm always hyper, but this was kind of like a next level hyper. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it like I couldn't stop talking. I couldn't stop talking, and knowing the social cues of people kind of looking at me like why don't just shut up, you know? I couldn't shut up. So like that was like the first thing that I noticed. There was something wrong with me, like mentally. um I was very hypersensitive and hyper aware of what was going on. And the same day I got into the car to go pick up my daughter, and I started just kind of getting anxious, like where's my phone? Okay, I gotta call my mother-in-law, who just recently had the cardiac surgery, and I gotta make sure that she's okay. And then I'm thinking about another friend. um this is all just like in 1 2 seconds that I'm thinking, okay, I gotta call my mother-in-law. Okay, I gotta call my friend who is going through a divorce. I gotta call my friend who's going through this. Like it's just racing thoughts. um and this was, mind you, this was while I was driving. And so during that 10 minutes or 15 minutes of me driving to my daughter's preschool, I am calling my mother-in-law. I'm calling my friend. I'm calling like 3 people in like 15 minutes. Um, so obviously that's not safe. Like, I'm so distracted. So I get to my daughter's preschool. I pick her up and I get her in the car, and my thoughts are still racing. Okay, okay, who am I gonna call next? Like, okay, who needs my help? Who do I need to help? This is just like a obsessive thinking that I'm going through at this point, and I decided to call my coworker who went through some mental health crisis years back. Um, and so I called her and I said, "Hey, uh, like, how did you feel? Like, how did you feel? What did you feel when you went into that episode or mental health crisis that you had?" Which I never knew what she went through really, but I knew that she was not um well, and she had to take, you know, long time from work and all that. So I was just curious because uh, I feel like I was going crazy. Um, so I called her and she kind of told me what experience she had. And so I was like, okay. Uh, and she recommended some like next steps to take, to have my mental health checked out, or um, so I hang up and my anxiety starts to build up. Do I have bipolar disorder? Am I like, do I have a manic depression? Do I have, what's going on? Like, what's going on with me right now? You know, and I think it was from that night on I started having issues with sleep. Um, I could not sleep. Actually, I could fall asleep fine. But I would wake up 3 hours later or 4 hours later. Sometimes five, no, 3 or 4 hours later, I would wake up and I'm wide awake and my thoughts are racing. Um, so that was my 2 weeks, past 2 weeks, that I've been dealing with. And I'm not sure when exactly I had to call mental health. I think it was that following Monday. I had to call out of work because my, you know, lack of sleep and my anxiety and my stress. I didn't even really know what was going on at that point. I never had issues with sleep. I never slept for more than 6 to 7 hours, like 6 to 7 hours. But mainly, like, my sciatica pain really flared up during this whole thing, and I was just so miserable. So I had to. That Monday morning, I'm up at 3 o'clock again, and my mind is going crazy because I have work on Monday and I have to go to work. And I can't, because it's like at that point I was ready to just, I don't know what I was gonna do. I was just going crazy. So I just Googled mental health crisis. because I had no idea. I know I'm not gonna call 911 because it's like not a medical emergency, you know. So I Googled mental health crisis, and the first link that came up was uh San Diego County .gov, and I know that's not a spam, so I clicked on that. I mean, something from the government, it's not going to be like a spam site. So I clicked on that, and it was like an 888 number. So I just kind of dialed it, like, because at that point I'm not thinking straight. Like, so I called that number, and a lady picked up, and she was just asking me a bunch of questions, and she asked me if I have a gun or sword in my home, and I said no. And that was 4 o'clock in the morning, that she told me that somebody's gonna come out and see me. And I go, like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, my kids are sleeping and my husband is sleeping. Um, are you sure you're coming? um, but she said, yeah, we're gonna be there in an hour. Um, hold on, like, hang on, you know, just, we'll be there. So I was kind of like, okay, okay. So I was waiting, and I could not get, I was basically having panic attacks. And I called my mom, I called my mother-in-law, I called, oh gosh, I called my pastor. My pastor prayed for me for like an hour straight until they arrived. And I'm so thankful for my pastor. He's just like my like a father figure that I never had. So I'm very thankful for him. Anyway, so they came, and oh my gosh, the I look out the window, and they're here in like an SUV, and I think it said MCRT, if I remember correctly. So I go out because, you know, I don't want strangers just looking for my house at like 6:30 in the morning. So I go out, I wave my hands, and one of the ladies just got out of the car, and she opened the door, and she lets me into the car, and it was a social worker and a licensed marriage family therapist. Wonderful ladies. I mean, I cannot thank enough. I mean, they really saved my life that day. I go into the car. I sat in the back of the car, and they were just talking to me like, hey, what's going on? You know, so I kind of told them everything, like what I was going through, what's bothering me, like, you know, the self-diagnosis that I had. I told them that I think I'm going crazy, like, and they really kind of helped me through like each step, and kind of walked me through how I'm feeling, and reassured me, and gave me resources. They helped me calm down. They told me that I'm not crazy, I'm not manic. Um, they gave me 3 or 4 solutions that they think that I should do, it was just awesome. Like, and maybe I spent about like 30 minutes in there talking to them, and we got out, or I got out, and I said, thank you so much. Like, I'm gonna make sure that everybody, my patients that I interact or encounter with, everybody knows that this resource is available. This is an awesome resource for um, mental health. I mean, mental health is so important, and I know a lot of people go through a lot of anxiety attack and panic attacks, or whatever you're going through. um, they're there for you, and you can just dial 988, which I never knew about. 988 is the mental health crisis line, so it's a um non-police mental health crisis team that come out in person to meet you wherever you are. um I live in I live really far from San Diego, even though we're San Diego County, but they came out and really helped me. So thank you so much. Again, I forgot your names, but thank you so much. And I want everybody to know that, if you're going through any kind of mental health crisis, panic attacks, anxiety attacks, suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts, or anything like that, you are not alone, and there is help. There's so many good resources out there that people don't know about, and they suffer, and you don't have to suffer, and you're not alone. So call 988 if you're going through anything that I went through, or more, or any help. If you think you're going crazy, just call 988 or dial 988. Okay. And the program is funded by San Diego County. So it's not, you don't have to have insurance, or you don't have to have anything. It's free. You don't pay. So anyways, so that was my experience with mental health crisis line, and I wanted to share that with you. And if you have any questions, you can always call me, or you can always message me. I'm all for, resources, learning new things, so I can, help others. So thank you guys. I'll see you later.